All right, Brady, we'll check out one of your stubby runs here. Mount Snow, watching in regular motion, and slow it down. All right. Good job at parts here, like really hanging on. Got a little late here and there, riding the low line, but hanging in there, fighting all the way to the finish. It's a great job. We've talked about this, and when you have kind of the time and you're ahead of the course, this seems to be kind of your go-to move, which is a counter rotation at the top of the turn. So you can see you're facing out this way when we're trying to turn this way. So you're counter rotating away from the direction of the turn, and then you bend over at the waist and you drop the hip in. That's how you get your skis up on edge. So you drop the hip in instead of using ankles and knees, and thus dropping the hip in, you kind of jack at the waist. So I know I've been telling you to stand a little taller, and let's try to use ankles and knees. So that's what I'm talking about. Upper body, it's all interrelated, and we're trying to figure out how to break this habit of being more square down the hill with the upper body, having the upper body not as jacked over, not as bent at the waist, in other words, and using ankles and knees to get the skis up on edge at the top of the turn. Pretty hard to really pressure the skis well there. We want to pressure the outside ski from rise line, which you're in rise line, through fall line, through here. So once the turn develops, then you start using a little more knees. Now we're facing down the hill. Now you're in a stronger position to pressure the outside ski. But a lot of your pressure is kind of down here. We really want to be starting right now, building it, and there's not much up here. Your turn's like down in here. And then, of course, we've already mentioned this. You have your hands usually pretty wide throughout most of the turn, and then you got this thing, arm swing, hook across the body a little bit, and that can be dangerous to bring it forward to pole plant. So I do like a lot of stuff here, like looking ahead. Look at that. You're looking down the hill. That's great. Came through here, and I don't know if you got really close together. I don't really know. We got kind of hung up and in the back seat, and just back seat through here. Did a good job here. Gave yourself feet some room. Nice strong exit. Tight to those stubbies. Decent looking turn here. And when things get going faster, and I think you don't have the time, you don't do the counter. So seems to be your go-to move in free skiing or when you have time. But right here, you didn't do it. Didn't really do it here. You're facing down the hill. Nice looking turn there. Maybe, I'm not sure, but got a little late there, of course, as we know. It's a hair too direct. As you can see where a lot of the kids' tracks were, and I think that was too wide. You'd want to be in between, somewhere more like here. But you went a little too direct, so therefore, obviously, you're well below and got the spray going. Now you're in catch-up. Now, the undergate saved you. If this was not an undergate, you'd be in big trouble. Undergate saved you right there. So we talked about the arms, and you tend to have them really wide. Through this transition, we want to use them to really push forward, help you get forward through the transition and get those hips up over the boots at the top of the turn. Those hips really didn't come forward that much. But use your arms to push through in the transition. But here's that start of that. Now you're into flatter territory. This is your go-to when you have time at that counter rotation. You can see your head looking down the hill, but your upper body, is facing out this way when we're going to be turning that way. And that tends to, then you drop the hip in. Your angles are here. We're looking for a little more here, knees and ankles first. And also tends to sometimes get your feet really close together. All right, feet get close together, you drop the hip in, you bend over at the waist, and you counter off into this direction. And really hard to pressure the outside ski and absorb any terrain. So that's what we continue to work on. Stand up a little taller with the upper body, using ankles and knees to roll up the skis on edge at the top of the turn. Using our arms to really help through the transition, moving forward. And it's all interrelated, but not bending over at the waist. When you're under pressure, you don't do it, and the turns are great, and you really fight to the finish. You're doing a great job, great result this weekend, and we'll keep working on it.